Speaking of performance artists in Austin, Texas. In Travis County, there's a custody case. There's a jury. Apparently, this is a very messy divorce. I generally don't have much interest in these things. But Alex Jones and his ex-wife, Kelly, have been locked in a child custody battle for, I guess, like almost 4 years over the course of a divorce. And there's going to be a trial in Austin, 2 weeks. Anybody wants to sit in that trial and call in and give us some highlights, please do. Lawyers for Kelly Jones will argue that Jones's public outbursts suggest he's not a fit parent. And let me make it clear, I am agnostic in this respect.
I would imagine so.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I would want. I don't know if what I would do on this show, this is not. I'm not parenting. I'm doing a radio show.
Do you tell your kids that you got to jump when you're done reading to them?
Yes, I do. Okay. I know. Look, we got to jump. We got to do this quick. We got to wrap this up. But the attorney for Alex Jones said, using his client Alex Jones's on-air InfoWars persona to evaluate Alex Jones as a father would be like judging Jack Nicholson in a custody dispute based on his performance as the Joker in Batman. He's playing a character. It said of Jones, he's a performance artist. Now, how I am on this show is not radically different from how I am off air. But you could say that I'm on air Sam now, as opposed to normally. But the idea that I'm playing a fictional character, where there are lines written for me that I don't accept as coming from me. I said this when Andrew Breitbart died. He may be a very good dad or whatnot, good husband or nice son or brother or whatever he was. But in terms of how I know him, in his public persona, he was a horrible human being who really enhanced misery for people in a myriad of different ways. And so I judge him as a horrible human being and say, I'm glad that in the role that I knew Andrew Breitbart, that he's no longer with us. I appreciate that he played a different role with his family, but I don't know him in that way. And I wouldn't comment and know of his death if he had only been a guy who was just a good dad.
Actually, Sam, ironically, in the nature of transparency, also a terrible father.
Yes. But, and I don't think if you were ever in a divorce home, people are like, have you heard him do Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela.
Clearly doing a character.
This guy cannot take care of children.
But Kelly Jones says he's not a stable person. She said of the man with whom her 14-year-old son, 9 and 12-year-old daughters have lived since their 2015 divorce. He says he wants to break Alec Baldwin's neck. He wants J-Lo to get raped. I'm sorry, if you say these things and the name of your character that you're saying them is the same name as you, and it's not really differentiated by, you've got to own it.
It's not InfoWars hosted by insane asshole who says grotesque things in character.
I'm concerned that he's engaged in felonious behavior, threatening a member of Congress, she said. He broadcasts from home. The children are there watching him broadcast. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the guy should not have custody of his kids because of this. But I do know that, I'm sorry, you can't pretend like this is a made-up character that somebody else is writing for you. You got to own this. This is not a movie that's clearly fictional. You've got to own it. And you've got to own your public persona. That's who you are to the vast majority of people who even know who you're talking about. What did he say to his wife? Like,
He goes, Alex Jones, like,
if you ever,
Kay,
if you ever think that I would allow you to take my kids from me,
don't you know that that's an impossibility?
that's an impossibility.
That could
That
never
could never
happen.
happen.
That I would do everything in my power.
Do you really want Mike Cernovich sitting on your doorstep?
Do you really want Roger Stone to contract a Moldovan hacker to say that you're a female pedophile?
I have one word to tell you. Plutonium. Plutonium.
I actually think what I thought was interesting about it, though, was that, like, it makes sense to me that I'm sure that there is, in his case, some version of on and off air Alex Jones, but in some ways, like,
Oh, there's no doubt.
there's no
But
doubt.
you've got to
but
own what you
there's-
say.
Well, not only that, but in a certain way, it's like, and that becomes its own version of a compelling case. Like, this guy is so cynical and so kind of flippant in a way that in character, quote unquote, you know, he'll shill for ridiculous projects. He'll, you know, threaten a member of Congress. I mean, there's an angle there too.
I don't know, for a
But
divorce
he shouldn't
proceedings.
have his kids taken away from him unless it's like
Calling
he's
from a
actually abusive
610
or
area code. Who's this? Hey, folks, Sam Cedar here. Donald Trump can kiss all of our asses. And one way he can is by you subscribing to this channel. I don't know how that works.